Welcome back, guys, to the Reality Podcast, and I'm Alex, your host, and welcome to yet another exciting episode as I have a returning guest, Mr. McMillan Dekeya. Mr. McMillan, welcome back to the show.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alex.
Okay, the last time we were here, you told us that we are living a scripted life, or some people were living a life which they were programmed to live in. Like, follow a routine without knowing it. So today, what do you have for us?
Okay, so today I have a slightly different story.
Okay.
I'm here today to talk about one of the most interesting stories in the world.
Okay.
But have you ever wondered why some people tend to become successful in life and others do not become successful? Or why, surprisingly, even the bad people tend to succeed in life, while the good people do not succeed in life?
It's very true. Those things are happening.
Yes. Well, pretty much I think the definition or the reason lies behind the definition of success itself. There is a man called Nightingale, and Nightingale actually had a fascinating definition to what success is. So he said success is nothing but the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Okay.
Which means if you know where you're going and why you're doing whatever you're doing and the goals that you have and you're working towards that goal, it means you are a success. But then the dilemma comes, or the problem comes, when you actually begin to see that success has limitations. And I believe the last time I was here, I talked about one of those limitations, which you just said is the conditioning that takes place within our subconscious mind from the moment we are born until we become adults, which forms our paradigms. And today I'm here to talk about the second limitations of success, or which limits how much successful a person can be in life.
Okay.
And this is the concept of self-image or self-perception.
Alright.
Someone might ask what self-image is.
Okay.
You see, so in 1960, there was this other doctor. He was a surgeon, a plastic surgeon. He made a psychological experiment on his patients.
Yeah.
He wrote a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. Psycho being the study of the mind, and cybernetics being the science or the mechanisms which govern how you attain a goal in life.
Okay.
So in Psycho-Cybernetics, he was basically talking about the experiment he performed on a few of his patients. These patients came to do a sort of plastic surgery, maybe on their face. So he removed scars that were on his face, and to some patients he reshaped their nose, and this physical change made a splendid psychological shift in their mindset. The doctor found out that if these patients were sort of introverted before, they became more extroverted, confident, and opening.
So they regarded the plastic surgery as success.
Yes, that's where I'm going. So the surgery in itself wasn't really the thing that propelled them to their success or to their change in mindset. It was actually the psychological change that happened in their mind. So the doctor came to a conclusion that by changing their physical appearances, they changed their self-image, and by changing their self-image, they changed the results that they were getting in life. So if they were introverted and shy before, they suddenly became confident and opening, just because they shifted their self-image. Now, what really is self-image? From the definition that I just gave you, self-image is just how you see yourself, your perception of yourself, your capabilities, your limitations in life. That's basically what self-image is, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about, the concept of self-image.
Okay. Alright, in terms of success, what is self-image?
Okay, in terms of success, or how does self-image contribute
to success?
Yeah. So let me say that there is a definition to self-image. So you might ask someone, self-image depicts who you are, who you truly are, and who you truly are defines your success. So you might ask someone who you truly are, or who are you. Someone might say, I am McMillan Dekeya, but McMillan and Dekeya are just two words. These are names, and my parents gave them to me. Or someone might point to their body and say, this is me, but this is not me, this is my body. So this is my name, this is my body, but who am I really?
The real you.
The real you.
Yes.
So who you are is basically what you believe to you about yourself, or the capabilities that you believe yourself you deserve. And this forms the whole concept of the self-image. So Dr. Maxwell Waltz came to a conclusion that in everything that you do in life, it will always equal your self-image. So you will never outsmart your self-image, or you will never perform to
beyond your self-image.
So that is how self-image comes to be success in life.
So does this equate to that the things I do in private is who I am?
Yes, if there's actually this book called, I have just recently started reading it. It's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it was written by a certain man called Stephen R. Covey.
Okay.
And in the early chapters of this book, he talks about 2 ways of attaining success in life,
yes,
or 2 ways of solving problems in life. There is first the outside-in method, and there is the inside-out method. You say that success is who you truly are when no one else is watching, like the who you are inside. So the outside-in approach involves changing everything that has to do with your outward appearance, neglecting everything that has to do with your inside appearance. And this way of solving problems, or this way of attaining success, really provides results. And there is the inside out method, where you go inside first to fix your inside self, and this will come to manifest itself in your outside self. So he found out that in these 7 habits of highly effective people, one of the habits of highly effective people is they go inside first to shift the problems that they're facing inside, which is in yourself
as a person. And so they have to conquer themselves first.
They have to conquer them. They have to conquer themselves first. And if we go to one of the most fascinating, or some may say the most influential teacher that has ever been known to men, which is Jesus Christ. He wrote the Bible. He said something in Matthew. I cannot quote it verbatim, but I can actually recite what he wanted to say.
Yes.
He said, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Yes, and all things shall follow.
Yes.
And then he later goes on to say, the kingdom of God is within you. So which means to attain everything that we want, the success we want in life, we have to first seek in. And if we seek in, we get to know something about ourselves, which is inside. And if you have to change the results that you're getting in life, you have to change something about yourself first. Which means you have to go inside. And inside you, what do you have to find? You find the mind. And inside the mind, you have to find the concept of the self-image.
Interesting. Good.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was going.
Okay, so if I want to pursue success, I have to conquer myself. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
So it means that the people who are successful today, they had to improve some things about themselves before they became successful. Yes. Which means their habits, their bad decisions, their bad habits, which they had to improve or conquer or to remove in their lives.
Yes, you said some people that have managed to attain success in life, they have to change something about themselves first, you see. And before I said anything, with my introduction, I said, have you ever wondered why some people tend to be successful in life and others are not successful?
Yeah, you see, because you're right. I know people of my age right now who are more successful than me. They're getting lots of money. They're hustling. They're getting into some deals. We even have some. I was talking to my friend the other day. He was talking about this essay artist Usmamani, who is only 21, but is a big superstar in South Africa. So an artist in Zimbabwe who is the same age as him is not yet that big, but Usmamani in South Africa is very big. So that is like a difference, a huge vast of difference of success. What really happens to that kind of thing?
Though some people might say geographical location actually takes part in success, because I'm in Zimbabwe and another artist might be in South Africa. These 2 countries are different.
In terms of economics?
Yes, we have to face reality first.
Okay.
But then, irregardless of all these other things that will affect success, the geographical indications, maybe you were born into a successful family, maybe you were born into a thriving family, there are other things that knows no boundary that govern success. So you say the demarcation between those people that become successful and those that are not successful. Those people that become successful, you see, if you look at the human anatomy of the body, you see, strive must see in me, strive must see in you. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, you have no anatomical difference within them, between you and Jeff Bezos. But then there is something different here. Jeff Bezos have managed to attain a level of success that he wants in life, whereas maybe me, I have not yet achieved that success. So what is different between me and Jeff Bezos? You see, there is a bridge between success and the human capabilities, and you manage to see that these people that have become successful, they have tapped into a higher self within you, and they have managed to. There's a speaker that once said, in each of us there is vast capabilities of potential, but it has something to do with the attitude of mind. Your attitudes your attitude governs how you succeed in life.
Right.
So these people that have managed to become successful in life, they've set a difference between them and the lower class citizens.
Right.
Because mindset demarcates these people.
And attitude.
And attitude of mind demarcates these people. That's why I'm here to talk about the self-concept. If you can shift something about your self-image, you can manage to shift something about your mind.
About who you are.
Who you are. And if you can shift something about who you are, you begin to see yourself. I believe that before Michael Jordan ever first set out to bounce a basketball ball, in his mind first, he envisioned himself as someone who was capable of achieving that which he wanted to access in life. So before you even start to do the practical things that require you to become successful in life, you have to first see yourself as able to do that. Because motivation, that's everything, you see. So if you first see yourself as capable of doing that, you can be able to, if you can see a mental image of yourself doing things that you can do, you are quite capable of achieving a replica of it in your physical life, you see. So I believe that in order to achieve a certain level of success, you have to alter something about yourself. And this is why I'm talking about the self-image. So the people who are not being successful today, maybe it's a matter of that they are not believing that they can do what they want. Yes, it's a matter of they don't believe that they can actually achieve that which they want. And then there are crazy people, because there are people who have so much motivation. They say that I can do this. And when they tell other people, those people will be telling them, no, you are crazy. No, you are. If you can actually go into the history of successful people, you can quite find out that most of the people that are successful, they once went through a sort of period where they were humiliated. They were told you cannot do this. But there is a certain speaker who once said it can only be delusional until it works. So delusion is actually something that propels success, because you have to be delusional enough to believe that I can actually do this. And how can you be delusional enough to think that you can do that? It comes from a self-image. When you build a positive self-image, you can see yourself as capable to do that. And that's when delusion enters. And when delusion enters, you can actually propel yourself towards success. And success does not necessarily mean you have to attain a financial level of success. Well, Mother Teresa was quite a successful woman, but I cannot say she was the richest person. Success just means you can be able to, you have educated yourself enough to be able to attain everything that you want from life without violating the rules of others. That's what success means. So success can be financial, can be academic, can be, let's say I go to the gym. Yes, I can give you an example of myself. Maybe I have an image of who I want to be in 7 months. Maybe I want a six-pack or huge biceps. Or after 7 months, if I am able to actually attain that, can you not say I'm successful? You are successful. Yes, I have been successful. To yourself? To myself. So it does not necessarily mean I have to limit the term success to only financial or monetary value. But if I am able to achieve everything that I want in myself, or if I'm able to achieve every goal that I have set myself to achieve in life, I can be deemed as successful. Yes. So let's say I achieve peace of mind, I will be successful, right? You can be successful. Because when you are peaceful, you have a peaceful mind, you start to you'll be healthy. Chaos is not really a good thing to be in life. So what else can you tell us about these self-images and capabilities? So I first define what self-image is. So how can you achieve this self-image, a positive self-image? You see, there are mainly 3 ways you can achieve a positive self-image. So firstly, how do you achieve a positive self-image? So I say there are 3 ways you can achieve. First, I think you have to learn something about your mind first. I believe if you can make mental images of something that you want to be in life, I believe that you can be able to achieve that. Because I say that I believe the first person, this phone, it was created by someone. So there was a time when this phone was not there. It was just an image. It was an image in someone's mind. I believe that the person who first created this phone entertained an idea in himself that he was going to be capable to make this phone enough times, and he neglected all the opportunity, all the thoughts of why he cannot achieve that, and he only entertained the thoughts why he can achieve that, and from doing that he actually achieved that success. For to build a positive self-image, I believe that you must first, there's this speaker that says David Watkins. I don't know if he's a speaker or he's a trainer. and I don't know if I said his name correctly. He said something that the most important conversations that we can have are the conversation I have with myself. So what I say to myself about myself is the most important thing that can deem me to be successful. So if you want to achieve a positive self-image, first mind the words that you say to yourself. You see, and you can mind the thoughts that you entertain in your life. Because if you sow a thought, you can reap a habit. If you reap a habit, you reap a character. If you sow a character, you reap destiny. So you see that it's a sequential thing.
It's a pattern.
It's a pattern.
All right.
So you have to first be conscious and be aware of things that goes on in your mind, the thoughts that you have, the words that you say to yourself about yourself, your capabilities, your limitations. You have to be conscious of everything that is there. That's when you start to build a positive self-image. You see, so this is the first step towards building a positive self-image. Then the other way you can build a positive self-image, I believe, is through reading books. I give you an example of the book Psycho-Cybernetics first, which talks about the science of mechanism of how to attain a goal. You see, so if you can read books, I believe that there is academic education and there is life education. You see, many people do not really understand why I read books sometimes. They actually question me, why do you read books? I myself am an avid reader. I personally enjoy reading books. You see, so if you can read books, I believe that everything that you want to attain in life, there's someone who has written about it. There's someone who has achieved that level of something that you want in life. And if you can be able to read a book, you see, there is another book called The Attitude of Mind. You see, you do not necessarily have to read the book so that you can recite it verbatim, but you can just have to be able to understand the concept of it. So I believe that the second way to build a positive self-image is through reading books, so that you can construct yourself with the ideologies in the mind, the thoughts that can be actually able to prime you towards the success that you want in life. You see, so these are the two ways that you can actually build a positive self-image.
All right. Okay. So it is only through our thoughts that we can achieve success, right? So does this mean that I should eliminate the people or anything which is negative to what I want to attain? Because obviously, if I set out a goal, someone will tell me that it's unattainable. Someone will tell me that it's too big, but in my mind, I'm seeing it is achievable. So does it mean that I should remove some people in my life? Because there will always be haters, we know that.
Yes. If you take a look at the physiology or the anatomy of how the brain functions, okay, you will see that everything that the second person says to you, you see, it has an effect to you. Similar mental neurons in your brain light up as to what the second person is talking to you about. So if you live in an environment where there is constant neglect, constant negativity, people do not believe that success is positive. You do not necessarily have to shift your environment, because to some people they may say maybe it's their brother or their mother that does not affirm success in their life. So you cannot, it's not realistic to shift your family. It's not realistic to change your family. But one thing that you can say is you have to be conscious of what you want to do in life, what you want to be in life. And if everything that is said by the other person does not reaffirm that which you want in your life, you have the capability or the conscious awareness to reject it in your mind. Because you see, everything that is said to you, you see, words are powerful. Even the Bible resonates with that. You see, words are powerful. You see, so if someone talks to you negatively, you see, you must choose, or you must take the deliberate action to consciously reject that. And then instead of putting that or imprinting that in your subconscious mind, you imprint the opposite of it. You imprint positive affirmations to yourself, you see. So it does not necessarily require you to shift your environment. You just have to be conscious of what you take or you accept to yourself or in your mind, regardless of what the other person is saying.
So in Shona, what are we saying?
In Shona, I'm saying good. You have the ability to reject that, and you have to be able to accept zvinhu zvaunoona kunge zvinokubatsira chete kana munhu achitaura zvinhu zvekuti zvinokudzikisira iwo and you must reject that in your subconscious mind. You do not necessarily have to show him harshness umudzi kuti uri kundudza zvinhu zvakadai zvakadai. Some people may not take that lightly and saka iwo chaunokwanisa kuita iwo, we cannot change the outside world, we cannot change the other person, but the only thing that we are in conscious control of is ourselves. Zvinhu zvatinotora zvatinozvibvumira mupfungwa medu. So une simba rekuramba zvinhu zvinenge zvichitaura nemumwe munhu zvinokudzikisira and une simba rekuzviudza iwewe things that are better, you see.
So it's about knowing your worth in the first place.
It's about knowing your worth and knowing what you want in life and rejecting everything that does not align with what you want in life.
Right. What about in terms of success? What my bad guys? Sometimes it's not my bad guys actually when you're successful in life.
Yes.
Yo, what the good person now is successful. Change no it out about no win in life. Yo, uska budiriri.
Okay, change no it out win in life. Okay, I told you I believe we live in a mechanical universe. So success in itself, and just like there are physical laws, there's a law of gravity. Regardless of what uri munaganaka kana kuti munagashata and ukakwira pamusoro apo unodona, and that's the law of gravity. It does not know your intentions. It just works because it is a law. And so the same way as the universe is governed by those physical laws, there are certain laws that are called metaphysical or quantum laws, and so these are universal laws. There are 12 of them actually, but I can only recite 2 of them to you. Then there is what we call the law of vibration, and there is the law of attraction. So the law of vibration simply states that everything is in constant motion and it vibrates at a certain frequency. And the law of attraction actually says that we can attract things into our life based on our frequency of vibration. So what am I saying? The things that makes these people become successful, regardless of are they pure at heart or are they good intention, is they follow these principles and they follow these laws. And you all know that you want the so we find out this is actually a problem to many Christians. I'm not against Christian, I'm actually a Christian, but many Christians vanongoramba vachinamata and vachinamata vachida zvinhu zviri kuti upenyu hwavo huchinje, by the savanofunga kuti just because vanhu vakanaka pamwoyo they automatically qualify kunge vaine success in life, and but life does not work that way, and life works with principles. In as much as you can be good at heart, and you must be aware of these principles, and then you might actually decide to choose my role models, and you can see that this person is doing well in life, and then you can learn how they do what they do in their life, and learn the principles that they take in their lives, and if you can apply those similar principles in your life, if you are able to be aware of the vibration that you are, the frequency of vibration that is in your life, and you can be able to change that, and you can be able to attract the success that you want in life. So simply, you have to be aware of the principles that govern success for you to be successful. You do not necessarily have to be a good person.
Alright, maybe they wake up at a certain time, maybe they do this and this and this. Is it not much about action as people, besides my principles?
Principles in life ndo panototangira, because Strive Masiwa actually said something akati you do not necessarily have to set goals, but you have to set systems in life. There's a difference between a goal and a system. A goal urikuti nini ndikuda kuachieve a body yakadaiso in 7 months, and a system is you're saying kuti ndachieve a body yakadaiso in 7 months, what must I do?
Exactly.
Can I achieve a body and find out a certain level of calories? I must go to the gym, this and this. That's a system. And so these people, they build systems and within their lives that govern their life. And if they build systems and they can be conscious, or they can become aware of what they want to be in life. You find out what they can attain that which they want in life.
Interesting. So, do you think they're good people or bad people? Say it's just a out of nowhere question.
Do you think they're good people and they're bad people in life? Is that your question?
Yes.
Well, philosophically, they are good people and they are bad people in life. Because even the Bible says there is, from the concept of morality, you see, there is good and there is bad, you see. But But these are just labels. Personally, I do not believe that they are good people or they are bad people. These are just labels that we label things in our lives. So you might say what from this region, they may say what is such and such an act is a good thing, and then you can go from to another region, they can say what such and such an act is a bad thing, and which means there is room for subjectivity. It is subjective, you see. So good and bad is a subjective matter to people. It just requires on what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life, you see. So
I don't think there are good people in this world. I think we're all bad because yo zvanoti inipana zvinoita zvakashata iwo chitori good change kana zvitiri good because zvinoita zvakashata. So I can't judge people with they are bad people.
Okay, you cannot judge people and say that they are bad people.
Yeah, because we're not doing it, but this guy's not shaisha and so on.
Yeah,
so when I'm successful, maybe are a bad person or very successful, and maybe panima push factors that it are successful, and maybe no one's no way to go to there are some sacrifices and it to so fetching never garden in the chimotuka moon it has something there. Yes, to body something or check the bed. So apana thing because what happened train.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's actually subjective matter. So I believe in this is no dependence on what you believe in your own life.
Okay, so what else do you have to tell us?
So I'm going to give you 2 examples that are going to explain furthermore on the concept that I was talking about the self-image. So you might say that I've talked or I've said about the self-image, but practically how can I achieve this positive self-image? So the neuroscientific example I was saying, there was a study that was taken by the Harvard University in the early 2000s. So there were 2 groups of people that were tasked to do 2 different things. So they were demarcated. The first group, they were tasked to mentally see themselves playing a piano. Bear in mind that these people had never played a piano before. It was actually the first time of them wanting to play a piano. So the first group was tasked to mentally see themselves playing a piano. Then the second group was tasked to practically practice playing a piano. So after a certain period of time, they were taken through an fMRI machine that depicts how your neural pathways work in regards to behavior. So it was seen that in both these groups of people, the same brain regions lit up as to these people that were mentally visualizing, the same brain regions lit up in their mind as to maybe they were actually playing the piano physically. So the same motor neurons that lit into those that were practically playing the piano lit also in those people that into those people that were mentally practicing playing a piano. And what does that tell you? I believe that everything that happens in this physical realm is a manifestation of the spiritual realm, and the spiritual being the mind. So these people fulfilled the theory that says mental visualizations or mental affirmations of mind can actually aid you to have a positive self-image, and it can propel you towards success. An example is Kyrie Irving. There's this basketball player called Kyrie Irving. He has a ritual that he does every day, every time before he. It's not a ritual in terms of physical, but he has a ritual.
It's a habit.
It's a habit.
Okay.
He calls it a ritual. So he said before every time he plays a game, he first takes time to see in his mind everything that he wants to do in the court. He mentally visualizes himself doing everything that he wants to do in the court. And when he actually does this ritual, he sees that he plays better than those games that he enters without mentally visualizing. So mental visualizations can actually aid you to build a positive self-image in your life, just the same as those same motor neurons lit into those people that were practicing playing a piano mentally. But then it manifested itself physically, because when they were tasked to play a piano, those people were actually able to play a piano later on. So and you can go and check this out. It's an actual study that was taken.
So if you can visualize yourself being at a certain level, it means that when you actually do something, you have the motivation, and you are most likely to succeed.
Most likely to succeed, because I can give you 2 examples of other people that used that. The one is my personal favorite football player is Kylian Mbappe. So Kylian Mbappe always said he mentally visualizes himself scoring those type of goals that he wants to score in the field, and you'll see that whenever he steps onto the field, the anxiety, the negative thoughts just seems to disappear, and he's able to perform just as the same he mentally saw himself doing even before. So mental visualizations are something that you can practice
Alright.
to yourself to build a positive self-image. Then the second lesson that I wanted to say, it was a biblical lesson. If you go back to the Genesis, the verse of the chapter of Genesis, you see, we see that in the 10 commandments, there's a commandment that says, do not use the name of the God or the name of your Lord in vain. You see, but what does it really mean, not to use the name of your God in vain? To actually see what I'm saying, we have to further go on to the story of Moses and God. When Moses asked God, but God, if I'm asked by Pharaoh, who sent you? God said, I am sent you. He said, I am, which means I am is the name of God. Then we go back, it said, do not use the name of God in vain. You see, so in everything that you believe in yourself, if you say that I am negative, I am a poor person, I'm an anxious person, you use the word I am first. So whatever you put in front of I am shall manifest itself, because you're not using the name of God. I'm teaching good here. So I am, if you say that I am successful in life, you can be able to become successful in life because you're using the name of God in positive ways. If you say that I am a poor person, you see that your mental limitations will be a poor person. So everything in life that you do will always limit you. That's why you see certain people will say success sabotages me in life. I am sabotaged by success. I'm just not a person that attracts success. But that is wrong, and it's a false reality. False realities create false identities. You see, so if you can be able to say I am, then put positive affirmations of self in front of the word I am, I promise you, everything that you say in front shall manifest itself in this physical dimension, because that is actually how the principle of success is governed. You see, so these are the two lessons that I wanted to say.
So I'm the next Elon Musk.
Yes, you can be the next, or you can be the first Alex Dan.
Alright, okay, thank you, sir, for being here on the Reality Podcast.
Okay.
And this was a very good episode, a very good teaching. I'm very appreciative of what you've done today.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And before I really close, all this concept of the self-image and everything, the last time I actually talked about it, I said I'm writing a book, and in this book it's called Paradigm Shifting. And paradigm, I told you, just the lens through which you see the world. So in this book I depict practical steps for you to actually achieve this success that you want. You see, I write practical steps because in my book, let me just give you a short example. I give an example of a person that I call Sekuru Farai. So Sekuru Farai is a character in my book. So I was saying kuti upenyu hwemfeso munatoriko muna Sekuru Farai andogara kudanga mvura iri yesikaukazobvunza. You see, so mfeso uyu life yake inongotanga nekuita zvaari izvozvi. You see, akatanga kuita ma-conscious thoughts ekuneglect mupfungwa make kuplanda zvinhu zvine musoro. You see, take an example of mind, say dumbi, a field. You see, so whatever you plant in a field, it will be fertile and it will come through. And so if you fail to plant positive things, you see, as I was saying, positive affirmations, putting everything that is positive in front of the word I am. If you fail to plant positive thoughts in your mind, you see, some people will come and plant negative thoughts into yourself. You see, as you were saying, some people may limit your success by telling you what is as it and what is that. You see, Farai neglected to take conscious decisions and thoughts of transforming himself, and by so doing, his life fell into a sequential, a domino effect. You see, of one thing led to another, But it started by not taking conscious decision of priming his mind for success.
I also heard that if you don't make decisions for yourself, life will make decisions for you.
Yeah, life will make decisions for you if you do not make decisions for yourself. You see, because the mind is a very fatal thing. You see, the mind is a very powerful thing, and if you fail to learn about the mind, and if you fail to prime the mind, you see, chinchese chaunoita, though you might want to disagree with me, but chinchese chaunoita chinotanga sepfungwa. You see, toti, let's say people who masturbate and saka karika pfungwa kekuona musikana akashama, and from that thing you people wakutoti apa tikondikazonoenda pa Google ndobva ndachinatsa kuona chase, then from that wakutomasturbate, then wakutoramba uchitodaro. You see, wakangotadza kuita pakangotanga kuplandwa pfungwa iyoyo yemunhu kupfeka, and you must have taken conscious decision ipapo
you know
life then you shifted your mind, because the mind yako is very fatal. Chinchese chinouya mupfungwa mako chinotofanira kuti chibude. You see, so the basic lesson of this, the self-image, and what I was saying, which I'm writing in my book, is just for you to take conscious decisions of changing your mind. You see? Because, but this is a phrase that I said, everything that happens in this physical dimension is a manifestation of the spiritual world. The physical dimension being your life, everything that is in the outside world. The spiritual world being your mind. You see, because there is a verse in Proverbs 23 verse 7 which says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." And in Greek, the word heart refers to mind. It means mind. So as a man thinketh in his mind, so is he. Which means everything that you entertain in your mind, so will it be in your life. So for you to change your life, the physical dimension, you must first change the cause, which is the manifestation in the spiritual realm, which is your mind. You see. So this is basically what I was talking about.
Wow, interesting. That's a lot.
Yes.
And so, guys, we had the man. He says that we have a mental warfare.
Yes.
And we should conquer it. So guys, that was me, Alex, on the Reality Podcast. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us what you think in the comments and to discuss. Goodbye, guys. See you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.